Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Barbara and today we are making like one of the most exciting videos of the year for me. One of them for sure. It is Magical Readathon Orilium TBR. So, first of all, if you don't know what Magical Readathon Orilium is, I will link the announcement to it down below. It is quite extensive and detailed readathon created by G over at Bookworm. I will link her channel and the announcement video down below if you want to check it out. The readathon began, I think, in like 1.5 years ago, and then there are monthly or like month-long readathons in April and in August. April one is called Spring Equinox, which is what we are having next month in April, and then in August is Autumn Equinox. And basically what is happening, you create your own character, and your character goes to this school, to the academy called Orilium, and you choose a calling for the character and attend classes based on the calling that you chose. I absolutely adore this readathon, and so this is probably the as excited as I get for any kind of readathons. So this video is going to be focusing on that, but not only on that, because in April there are other two readathons that I am going to be part of. One of them is Realmathon, hosted by Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy, I think. I will link that also down below if you want to check. It's also 1 month long readathon. It's the second edition. The first one was last year in April. There I am competing for Realm Enya. There are 4 realms that you can choose from, and you basically read books either to support your team or to attack the other teams. And so you can also go check that announcement and choose a realm and go with that. But that one, I don't have a TBR for it, just the books that I read. I will see what prompts it fits. And then those are the points that I will get for that readathon. Third readathon is a readathon called Nevermore-athon. It is hosted by Denise over at Adventures in Enchanted Forest. Again, it will be linked down below if you want to check it out. It is a readathon based on or inspired by the TV show Wednesday. Basically, there are 7 teams, and you pick one team, and then each team has a board, like a bingo board with prompts. And you just try to read books that fit those prompts. And for this readathon, I am a captain of Team Doves. My recommendation video for the board, for the bingo board for Doves, is already up. I will again link it down below if you want to check it out. And yeah, so I will very quickly go over what I plan to read for that readathon as well. Without further ado, let's jump into Orilium Readathon TBR. So my character, Doina, she's in the Order of the Crescent Guild. That means she can start her classes 3 days early. So I can start reading the books 3 days early, so on March 29th, which is amazing because our guild won the guild competition in the Autumn Equinox in August. So we get this advantage this time. So I can start reading a bit early. So I'm really excited about that because Doina is a little bit ambitious this year. Last year she started to studying as a Beastmaster, which is one of the callings, and it definitely fits with her personality. You see, we are all dressed up for the Beastmaster, supporting the nature, supporting the animals, we love it. She is going to continue with this path to become an apprentice, I believe, because now she is completed novice, I think, so she can come to the 2nd level. But that's not enough. I was thinking of a double major kind of thing. I was thinking about adding a herbologist on the list because I feel like that goes pretty well together, Beastmaster and herbologist. But then the announcement came out and there is a new calling called Wild Form Druid, which means you can study this calling to be able to shapeshift into different creatures. And I thought that was amazing. It is quite demanding calling, but I really want to try. So I will try to do Beastmaster and Wild Form Druid, and if I'll have any time I will try Herbologist as well. It is extremely ambitious, but that's what we're going for, okay? Let's start with the Beastmaster. I'm going to read like what are the subjects that I will be taking, the classes, what we'll be studying, and the prompt and the book. So for Beastmaster, first we need is elemental studies, and this time we're going to be studying botanic controls. And for this, we need to have flowers on the cover. And for this, I picked an arc I got from NetGalley, and it is Alicia Alonso Takes the Stage by Rebel Girls. It is basically children's middle grade little book about Alicia Alonso. It is a non-fiction really, but it's like a story form of it. So it's basically her biography for children, and I love Rebel Girls books. And so, yeah, this is going to be my pick. There are roses on the cover, so that definitely counts. The second subject is animal studies. And here we are going to be studying heads and tails. So I need to flip a coin. If it lands on heads, I get to read nonfiction. If it lands on tails, I get to read fiction. So I already did this earlier, so I'm going to insert it here.
Okay, so here is our coin. It's Swedish 1 crown. Yeah, so this is heads, this is tails. So let's see what happens. I never actually flipped a coin, so. How do you flip a coin? Oh. You just throw it, or?
Not you.
How?
You hold it like this and then...
And that's a head. Okay, so non-fiction.
And we got heads, so gotta pick non-fiction, and for this I'm going to be reading Crying in Agemard by Michelle Zauner. And this is a memoir. I think maybe it won even the memoir for last year on Goodreads. And I believe it is about this woman who has quite complicated relationship with her mother, helping out in her supermarket. And I really don't know what it's about. I think she's Asian, so maybe she deals with some racism and prejudice and things like that. So it sounds very interesting. It is very popular, very well-liked book, so that's what I'm going to be reading for this prompt. Third subject we need for Beastmaster is alchemy. Here we are going to be studying principles of transmutation, and that means we need a metal in the name of the book. And for this I struggled with this one because I don't have many books that have metal in the name, but then I found one that I kind of forgot about, and I really want to get to this one, and it does very well fit, I believe, I hope, with the Nevermore-athon prompts, which I will get back to later. And the book is The Adventures of China Iron by Gabriela Cabezon Camara. And this is, 1872, the Pampas of Argentina. China is a young woman eking out an existence in a remote gaucho encampment. After her no-good husband is conscripted into the army, China bolts for freedom, setting off on a wagon journey through the Pampas in the company of her newfound friend Liz, a settler from Scotland. While Liz provides China with sentimental education and schools her in the nefarious ways of the British Empire, their eyes are opened to the wonders of Argentina's richly diverse flora and fauna, cultures and languages, as well as the ruthless violence involved in the nation building. It sounds really interesting. It is pretty short. It is on less than 200 pages. So I'm excited to read this one. Next, we need restoration. And for restoration, we are studying oculi cures. And for this, the prompt is close your eyes, shuffle, and point. Again, I did this before. I had the help of my boyfriend. So he put up the notes, because this was mostly books I only have in my phone or like on NetGalley. So he put up notes around me, and I just closed my eyes, spin around, and pointed at one. So here it goes. Quizzes for Rebel Girls, okay. So I picked Quizzes for Rebel Girls. Again, Rebel Girls, middle grade, children's book, will be a quick read. I kind of feel like cheating with picking these super short reads, but I think I will read these as fast as anybody would read like a comic book or a graphic novel. So I don't think I need to feel particularly guilty about this, and this is again arc, so I need to get it done, get it read, and so that's gonna be the next one. And the last subject I need for Beastmaster is lore, and here we are going to study the legend of Dia, and the prompt is book with a map. And for this I picked, it was a journey, but in the end I picked Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. There is a map. I am calling this a map. I think that counts as a map. And I had this on my TBR last month, so I already talked about this book. So really quickly, it is a YA fantasy based on Bolivian culture and history. So really exciting. I love the cover. This could also fit for flowers on cover, but I already fit other things for that, so this one. So that is for the Beastmaster. And this will be the priority. I do want to study more and master the Beastmaster calling. And then if I have time, I don't know what's going to be the order of these things. I don't think it's going to be this perfect because the Nevermore-athon readathon comes in. Nevertheless, this will be the priority. And then after that, I will try to read also for the wild form Druid calling. And so for this, there are 8 prompts for this. Here are the 8 prompts. So first of all, we have animal studies. That's the same as in Beastmaster, but we need to pick a separate book, of course, for this. So I needed to spin the coin again for whether it will be heads or tails. So again, I'll let my boyfriend do it because obviously I'm unable to spin a coin, to toss a coin, whatever. He tossed the coin and we got a fiction. So for this one, I pick Still Watchers by Viveka Sten. Now, this is a Swedish mystery book, murder mystery. It is the first in the series called the Sandham Murders, I think. And I don't own this book. I got it from, or I will get it from library, because at the end of the month we are going to Sandham. It is island outside of the city, outside of Stockholm. It is very, very far out. It is basically almost the last island of the archipelago. And so we are going there for one night at the end of April. And I just thought it would be fun to read a book set on the island. Even though it's murders, but maybe it'll be beautiful descriptions of the island and of the nature. So I thought it would be fun. So I tried to squeeze it in. So I'm going to be reading Still Watchers by Viveka Sten, set in Sandham, and that's all I know. It's a murder mystery. Second subject for this calling is Art of Illusion, and here we'll be focusing on this guy's self. So we need to match clothes color to cover color. I think this could be very just like whatever fits the mood, whatever fits the clothes, but in order to get my life in order, I decided to pick one book for this. This might potentially change, but I don't think so, because I think this book will be the first one I will read because it is from library and somebody has it reserved, so I have to return it in the beginning of April. So I need to read this one first. And it is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. And this was for G's Patreon book club in February. I reserved it in library in like end of January, and I just got it like 2 days ago because they screwed up in the library. So I was the first in the queue, but I never got the book. So then I emailed them and then it was sorted. So now I have it, but I have it only for 2 weeks. So I need to read this. This is a YA fantasy mystery, I believe. That's all I know about it. I read about it a couple of times what it is about, but I think it is really just some kind of mystery fantasy thing. I actually don't know, but it is also recommended to me for 12 in 2023. So this is going to get done. Next we have astronomy. Here we are going to be studying the eclipse effect. And for this, the prompt is 2 letters E in the title. And I think this is 2 or more. I think even G now released her video and she has more than 2 letter E's in the title. So it works, it's not against the rules. And for this I picked We Fly Beneath the Stars by Susan Kelman. And this is another arc I have from NetGalley. It is an audiobook and it is about women in World War II. Basically historical fiction. And it sounds very interesting. Again, it fits perfectly for the Nevermore-athon prompts. And yeah, that's what I will be reading, and I'm really excited. I love historical fiction. I should read more of it. I just don't usually get to, so this time I will get to. Next up we have Conjuration. For this we're going to be studying spirit binding spells. Prompt is recommended by a friend. So for this I looked at the 12 books recommended by friends in 2023 and I picked the shortest one. And that is All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is the first book in the Murderbot series. It is about 150 pages long. And yeah, I'm curious to read this. Everybody talks about it, loves it. So this is going to go for recommended by a friend. Okay, next up we have Spells and Incantations. Here we are going to be studying magic missiles. That means read a target length book, 389 to 415 pages. And for this I picked another book I have from library, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. It has 404 pages, so it fits. This is, I think, cozy adult sci-fi. What it is about, no idea. I just love the previous Becky Chambers books that I read, Monk and Robot series. I really enjoyed that, so I really wanted to read a full novel by Becky Chambers, and so here it goes. Next subject for from Druid is Restoration, again, which is Oculi Cures, and then Close Your Eyes, Shuffle, Endpoint. So again, boyfriend helped.
I go up. Sure. This way.
Oh. And this time I picked Madame C.J. Walker Builds a Business by Rebel Girls. Again, arc by Rebel Girls, similar to Alicia Alonso, where it is basically non-fiction story for children about Madame C.J. Walker. So that's what's gonna be read. Next up we have Shapeshifting. This time we're gonna be studying Wolf. So Wolf on cover, title or author's name. And for this, I'm going to be using my reward for the guild points that I've been collecting. Here I got that I can switch any book I want for any prompt. So for this, I got one wolf book lined up, but it doesn't really fit with the rest of the readathons, and it's really long, so I chose a shorter one that will fit other readathons as well, and that's going to be Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I'm going to be talking about why I picked this in the Nevermore-athon, because there is a good reason. But yeah, I read this long time ago, I think like twice. I don't remember last time I read it. And yeah, just the nostalgia moment. I found audiobooks for this, so I can just listen to it on audiobook. I know the story so well, so it's gonna be pretty quick, relaxing read, I'm sure. So Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. And then the last subject is Elemental Studies, so Botanic Controls, that means flowers on the cover. Can you guess? Flower on the cover, New Moon by Stephanie Meyer, which is the second book to the Twilight. And yeah, so I'm going to be reading this, and it fits perfectly the prompt. So this is the TBR. If I'll have more time, I will try to read also for Herbologist, but I don't know about that yet, so I don't want to set up any TBR particularly for that, even though it's only 2 books, but I will be trying to vlog every week to keep you up to date with how the readathon is going for me, or all the readathons really. So that's my plan, to keep you updated every week, so we'll see if that will get squeezed in the vlogs. So this is the TBR, plus some books that I have only on Kindle or in audiobooks. But yeah, this looks pretty cool stack, I think. It is a lot of reading, but I have, many of them are pretty short, or I have audiobooks for them. So I feel quite confident that I can pull this off. We will see. Anyway, to sum it up, here is the TBR for the Beastmaster. We have 5 books. And here is the readathon for the Wild Form Druid. And I'm super excited. Okay, so that is it for the Orilium readathon. And now it's time to talk about the Nevermore-athon. So I'm just going to talk to you about what books I picked for what prompts. So let me pull it up. Here is the devs board, and so we start from the first prompt, right? So for the prompt, a book with psychic abilities, I pick Twilight. Because I don't want to have any spoilers in case you don't know it, you don't want to know it, whatever reason. There are psychic abilities in this book, as well as visions, so it fits also the book with vision prompt on the board, and it also fits gentle book prompt, because I feel like these are very gentle books. It is a high school paranormal romance, and I think it's all quite wild. There is some kind of a little bit danger in the end, but overall I feel like it's very gentle relationship, and I don't know, I just like it. So that's what I picked for this prompt. Second, we have book with light cover. For this I picked The Adventures of China Iron because it is a light cover. It is green, it is not white, but, or is it yellow? Is it some kind of green yellow color? I think it's green. But it's very light cover. And then this also fits for book with love, because there's going to be some kind of love between China and Liz, her friend Liz, so that it fits. And then the third prompt this one works for is book with ancestors, because I believe they are going to be talking a lot about ancestors, like the Argentinian ancestors and tribes and things like that. So I believe this is going to fit that prompt. Next we have wholesome book, and for that I picked The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, because people just say this is a very wholesome, cozy sci-fi, so I thought it would fit very well. And then this also fits a favorite author. We could say she's my favorite author because I enjoyed the previous two books I read by her, so I think that fits if I stretch the prompt a little bit. And then it also fits that it's a book set in future. I believe it is. I am not 100% sure because not all sci-fi is set in the book, but in my understanding, sci-fi often suggests that this is a future story. So, or this is it's set in future. So, gonna read this for that. Next prompt we have is book with sisterhood, and for this I'm going to be reading We Fly Beneath the Stars, the historical fiction about women in World War II. And it talks about their sisterhood and about the love for each other and how they protect each other. This also fits for ARC, because it is an ARC from Letgali, and also adult main character, because obviously if there are women fighting in World War, they are adults. So that fits that. Next we have a positive prediction, or a 5-star prediction, and for this I pick Crying in H-Mart because I love memoirs. I oftentimes give memoirs 5 stars, and I just have no reason to believe that this wouldn't be that case. So I think this could be a 5-star for me. And this book also fits into a well-liked book, because they did really well on the Goodreads Choice Awards. I think it won. And so yeah, it's a very well-liked book. And then it fits mother-daughter bond, because I think the main point of the book, or what it talks about a lot, is the relationship of this woman with her mother growing up and just in general. So I think that fits that as well. And then the last prompt that we haven't filled yet is the book, read a book by candlelight. And for this, I can really pick any book at all that I would like for this. So potentially New Moon, I could read by candlelight, for example, or any other book that I'm reading. So this is the TBR. There are some books that are online, so Crying in H-Mart I have on Scribd, We Fly Beneath the Stars is audiobook on Letgali. Was there anything else? I don't think so. So this. So it is much more realistic TBR, and it perfectly fits with Orilium. I did struggle, but I managed to make it work for both Orilium and Nevermore-athon. So I'm really, really excited for April. It's gonna be super exciting month. Lots of reading, lots of great books, and I just can't wait. I just can't wait for it to start. As I mentioned, I will try to be vlogging, so hopefully there will be a new vlog every week with the updates of how I did and what I thought about the books as I go through them. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you are joining either of these readathons or all of them, what guild you are or what calling you are for Orilium, or what realm you're gonna be in realmathon, or what team you are joining in the Nevermore-athon. Just let me know what your TBR is, what is the book that you're looking forward the most in April. And yeah, so that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!